Hello, everyone, and welcome. I appreciate you taking the time to join me today. My name is Kristen Magents, and I'm one of your product education specialists here at TradeSmith. I have included the webinar script as a reference within the chat box, and those who registered will be emailed the webinar recording along with the script the following business day. A recorded version of this webinar will also be posted to the help menu within the TradeSmith Finance site. So let's go ahead and look at today's topics. All right, so today we will explore the Pure Quant tool. Together, we will review the step-by-step process for creating a new investment portfolio. We'll also use our screeners from last month to screen and pick out the best ones from that screener tool with the power of the Pure Quant tool. The Pure Quant tool allows you to build a diversified and risk rebalanced portfolio according to equal risk position sizing. And you'll see once we get the results of the Pure Quant, you'll see how it does those two things. So let's go ahead and just get the disclaimer out of the way and we'll get started. The information we present today and in upcoming tutorials is only for educational purposes. We are not financial advisors and cannot provide any personalized advice or recommendations. We are recording today's presentation, so if you do miss something, don't worry about it. You will be able to go back and rewatch it at your convenience. All right, I'm going to get rid of this PowerPoint and we'll go ahead and head to the website. One moment. So I'm already logged in to my TradeSmith Finance account. Just as a reminder, everyone will log into your account via finance.tradesmith.com. No matter what product subscription you hold with us, you'll always come to this site to log in. Also, I do have access to the full suite of TradeSmith products with my Platinum subscription, so your site may look different from mine. Those of you that are attending today's presentation, if you do not have access to the Pure Quant tool, it's due to your subscription level. I know if you have like TradeStop Basic or Plus, I do not believe you get access to the Pure Quant tool, but you are still able to attend and watch and see how that tool works. And at the end, there is a number for the plan specialists. If you want to see about upgrading or adding the tool, you are more than welcome to do that. But you don't have to have the tool to attend these webinars. All right, let's quickly check out the help menu where you can go to access additional educational resources, including all of our TradeSmith Bootcamp webinars and all of our short how-to video tutorials as well. Those of you will notice we do have a new help menu. It is now orange. We are thinking about changing the colors, but for now it's orange. So if you click on the help menu, it does look a little different. We have changed it. So to access the webinars, you would just come down to the TradeSmith Bootcamp webinars and click on that. And that will take you to all of the webinars that have been recorded up to today. The same goes for all of our senior analysts, Mike Bernick's webinars that he does monthly, the Inside TradeSmith, which anyone can attend. Those are going to be housed here. And then if any of you want to get some quick start training, Marina and I have recorded quick start videos for each product we have. We are almost done. We are working on money movers and crypto now, but trade stops, ideas, predictive alpha, cycles, all of those are complete. And to access those quick start getting started series, you would click here and you would choose what series pertains to you. And each series has about 10 quick start videos. So extremely helpful. So definitely check this out for sure. It's step-by-step 10 videos of how to really get started within our system, because I know our system can be overwhelming because there's so much at your fingertips. But if you start with these getting started quick start videos that we have created for you, I think it will benefit you. And we've worked all year on this. It's taken forever because literally it's for each product. When you click here, there's a lot of videos. Those of you that would like to get a complimentary concierge, feel free to click on the customer success team here, and there will be a link to schedule a complimentary concierge with one of our knowledgeable agents in customer service, you will pick the date and time and they will call you. And after that concierge is complete, you can still have more after those are complete. So there's no limit to the number of concierges one shall have. And to book that, you just have to remember it's a different scheduling site. So when you click here and you click on schedule a concierge, just make sure if it's your first time, you do have to register. And there are steps there that shows you how to register. But if you click here and open this, you can click here to schedule a concierge appointment. And if you get stuck, there is a short how-to video within that link too that will walk you through the process. We just don't have time to go through all that, but I would definitely take advantage of that. It's totally complimentary. And you basically control the call. You tell the agent what you want to talk about, what you need help with, and so forth. It's a form that you fill out. Also with our mobile app, we have created some guides. If you have not yet downloaded our mobile app, feel free to check out the installation guides. We have one for Apple and Android. Those of you will notice with your push notifications, you do have to have the app to get your alerts now like that. So I don't know if you've got the memo or you're wondering why your alerts aren't coming through. It's because of that. So definitely download our app. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and we'll get started. And in your script, there is step-by-step directions to schedule concierge too, and that quick how-to video of how to schedule is right in your script. So definitely refer back to your script if you want to take advantage of the concierge. All right, let me bypass all of this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with the Pure Quant tool. So to access the Pure Quant tool, you are simply going to click on the Invest tab here. And then you're going to select the Pure Quant tool tab here. All right, so there's a lot of information here, so we'll break it down. So the tool provides two options. You can build a new portfolio or re-optimize like an existing portfolio. Today, we're going to start by building our portfolio from scratch. And then you'll see that once we do that, this tool will actually break it down into 3 easy steps. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on Build New Portfolio. So I have the option to choose a model portfolio, which is portfolios that we've created here at TradeSmith for you. If you have access to them, it's based on your subscription, but there are some like billionaire portfolios that we've already loaded in here for you if you're looking for us to give you the portfolio instead of you building it from scratch. But today we're going to build from scratch. And on another lesson, we'll go through re-optimizing an existing portfolio. Basically, what this does is it takes your existing portfolio, it tells you which stocks in your portfolio you should sell and what to replace them with. So it's really, really neat. Again, this Pure Quant tool we've had since the beginning when we started Trade Stops. It's one of the most powerful tools in our entire system. It's my favorite. So it's very, very picky. It has high standards. And that's why when we get the results, you'll notice that because of the picky standards that we have set on it, sometimes if you're running your newsletter portfolios, you don't get much results because of the filters we have running behind this Pure Quant tool, which we'll go through together. Before I start on build a portfolio from scratch, right down here, these are just all of the ones that I've done in the past. I do come in here quite often and play around with them. I actually just deleted a bunch of them. I have to go through and delete these. These are just test ones that I play around with. So if yours gets full like this, you can select these little white boxes or all of them if you don't want them anymore, and go to the bottom and delete them if you wanted to. For now, we'll just leave them, but I just want to show you what these are. The reason it saves the pure quant runs that you do in the past is so you can go back and rerun it if you want again, because as you can see, it saves the filters and the sources it comes from, which we're going to get to the sources in just a moment, what makes these up. All right. And then this tab corresponds to re-optimizing your portfolio, which we're not going to do today, but on our next lesson in December, we're going to go through re-optimizing your existing portfolios. Today, we're going to build a new one with our save screeners that we did last month. All right, so I'm going to do build portfolio from scratch. All right, so we're going to build it from scratch. And again, this tool breaks it down into 3 easy steps. So the first step is going to be to choose our sources in which we will create our portfolio with. Step 2 is you can review the default settings according to our indicators. I'm just going to show you this, but I never ever touch the default settings because I like the settings that are here. Some people will change it, and I'll show you what you can change in there when we get to step 2. And then step 3 is where we customize our portfolios, like with the investment amount that we have to invest and the number of positions we want it to return the results for. All right, so we're going to start with step 1. So let's really quick take this opportunity to review the sources combination, because it is a big question that we get a lot, like from our members saying, what does any and all mean? So by default, you will see it stays on any. If you leave this on any, you're telling the tool that you are okay with the results to match any combination of sources you choose to build your portfolio. These are the sources below here. If you click on this and change it to all is going to basically tell the tool that the results must match all your sources to build your portfolio below, only using the stocks that are found in the sources below. I do leave it on any, because even if some sources I don't choose, it still puts some stocks in the tool. So I do leave it on any, but you can definitely do all. All right. And the only time, like if you're using this and you're using the Pure Quant tool to type individual securities, you definitely want to make sure it's on any. So if you're only coming down here and typing in tickers here that maybe you have saved, maybe tickers that a friend or family told you about, you can enter all your tickers in this source here, but you always want to make sure you leave it on any. All right, so as you can see, there are numerous sources here that you can choose from, and this can be confusing. You do not have to use all of these sources. It's just giving you the option and variety to use the ones that you want to use. So the first one it allows you to do is choose from our TradeSmith Billionaires Club. And this is basically if you want to invest like the top hedge funds and billionaires we track, you can use the TradeSmith Billionaires Club. And you can select here with your drop down all of the 27 billionaires that we track. By selecting all, it's going to take all of their stocks. So just remember that it may take a few minutes to get your results. Or you can choose your favorite gurus individually by putting a check. So say that you just want to see Bill Gates, you can see his, and so forth. So what this source is going to do is take their portfolios that we track and run them through the Pure Quant tool and actually select the best of the best out of their portfolios. So it's going to basically minimize hundreds of stocks down to the top 20, which is why we love this tool. Same with our screener. When we run our screeners that we saved last month, say we had 200 results, you come here to the Pure Quant, put your screener in, and it's going to take those 200 results that probably overwhelmed you because you didn't know what to select and give you the top 20 by our default settings, what we have set. So that's why we love this tool. It minimizes your results to the top 20, so it's not so overwhelming and you know what to invest in, like the best of the best, basically. All right, so you can choose any of these billionaires if you have access to this one. Today we are gonna do both. If we have time, I'm gonna choose some of the billionaires, and then so we're gonna use this source today, and then we're gonna come down here and use the Save Screener source. All right, but let's go ahead and fill this out. So again, for today's lesson, we are gonna leave it, we're gonna use all the billionaires. So I'm gonna select all. So I want my results to go through their portfolios. There are also other sources, like I said, to choose from. So you can choose from newsletters. Oh, this is new with our release. Let me go over this. So if you choose all of the billionaires, you can click on this to use only the top 25 positions in each portfolio. I am going to keep this on because if not, it's going to take forever and it's going to give us a lot of results, more than 25, but highlight the 25, but it'll still give us more 25, you'll see. So you do have the option to select from any of your favorite newsletters. This is really good to use the Pure Quant with your newsletters because as you can see, if you follow a lot of newsletters like I do, these are all the ones I have access to. It is impossible to go through each newsletter when I get the email with recommendations or I go to my services. It's impossible to choose what I should invest in. So I do use newsletters a lot. I come in here and say I want to look at a Stansberry portfolio and their recommendations. I can come here, select Stansberry, or since I have access to all of Stansberry's portfolios, if I don't want it to look through all of them, you can open these little blue arrows and select the newsletters that you want. As you can see, Stansberry has a lot. So if I just want to look at the Stansberry Forever portfolio, then I would uncheck this and just put a check in the Forever portfolio. And it's just going to pull the stocks from that portfolio recommendations. And the reason why the newsletter source is extremely popular is because when it comes to our affiliates and trade stops, you'll notice that sometimes our affiliate newsletters recommend stocks that are in the red zone. And we say, no, it's bad. It shows unhealthy with our health indicator that you should not invest in red zone stocks. But the reason that we differ with our newsletter recommendations, our affiliates, is they're going by two different things. So we're going 100% math. That's why we say no on the red health. It's not healthy. If they're recommending a stock in the red, it's because they're pulling from fundamentals, research analysis, sometimes social media, like the Swan Brothers uses Twitter, and so forth. So they're still our affiliates. Their recommendations, in each portfolio are their recommendations, but we give you these tools to take the portfolio and run it through, like this Pure Quant tool, to get the best ones out of that portfolio and leave not the good ones behind, if that makes sense. So every time I usually get a lot of recommendations, I always come in here and I run their portfolio through this tool because of the strict guidelines that we have. The results that it pulls on the Pure Quant tool can never be in red. So, all right, so we're not gonna do newsletters. I just want to show you that. That's one source you can use. Again, it gives you all of these sources, but you do not have to fill each source out. It's just giving you the option to pick and choose which ones you want to use. So the next one is our TradeSmith baskets. This is another good one. This is going to allow you to utilize any TradeSmith basket that we've created for you or any basket that you've created. So those of you that have created baskets, basically a basket is a collection of securities that you continually follow for trade or investment opportunities. So a lot of you that have these baskets are dumping in stocks, and these baskets can get quite large. And what you can do is take those baskets that you create and run them through this Pure Quant tool to narrow your results down. As you can see, these are all 37 of my baskets. Some have quite a lot of stock and crypto. I could take these baskets, run them as a source through this pure quant, and it's going to give me the top 20. So that's going to save me time, and it's going to do all the work for me. It's going to take the best of the best and make me that optimized portfolio for me to invest in. So these are all the baskets. Those of you that are on here that have no idea what a basket is or what I'm talking about, you can locate your baskets here, but what I would suggest is in your script, it says to learn more about baskets, click here. Watch that short how-to video. It's about 10 minutes long, and then you'll understand what baskets are. All right. Now, you can also build your investment portfolio according to the major US and foreign markets, sectors, or countries of exchange. So you can do the markets here and select the markets you want to pull from. We're not going to do that today. You can select a sector if you'd like. So say you want to build a new portfolio and you know that, I'm just giving this as an example, utilities is doing well, that sector. You can put a check in utilities, and the Pure Quant tool will pull all of the best stocks trading on the utility sector, the S&P sectors. So you could do that, which we're not going to do today. You can add your country of exchange here. So if you want the results to come back with Australia, Canadian, United Kingdom, or US, you would select this. I'm going to go ahead and select US. Since I am using the Billionaires Club, some of our billionaires that we do track do trade out of the countries. But for my results, since I wouldn't trade outside of the country, I want results to come back from the US stock exchange, basically. Here, you can add your asset type. So if you have a platinum account with us or you have more than one service, you can definitely not only make a portfolio full of stocks, but you can make a portfolio with cryptos. So the Pure Quant tool can actually give you the top 20 cryptos that's trading, indexes, Forex, futures, funds, warrants, and commodities. So you can even pull from the commodity section. And again, it depends on your subscription level, what you have here. If you just have trade stops, you're only going to see stock. You won't even see the option for crypto. All right. And then the next source that you can choose from is the individual securities. So this, how I've seen it work, I don't really use this one this much, but if you have like a strong conviction about a stock you want to own, but you haven't taken the jump to get it, but you've been watching it and you have it written down, or you're following it from one of your newsletters and it's just in your head, like certain stocks, you can basically type them out here. Either the name of the company. Oops, I don't even know how to spell Apple. You can type the name of the company here and then choose them, and then it's going to give you another space to put more. So you can put as many individual stocks here that you're curious in, and it's going to basically run these stocks through the Pure Quant tool and tell you if they're good or not. So if you are following a handful of stocks, definitely list them here, and it's going to tell you what is good or not out of those. You can check this to include these tickers regardless of the Pure Quant rules, but if you check that, it's going to include a result even if it doesn't meet the requirements of our technical indicators. So I would never check that if I were you, because what's the purpose of using the Pure Quant tool if you're not going to go by the indicators that we have set, if that makes sense? All right, and then the next one you can do is run any of your portfolios and watch lists through the Pure Quant, which we will do next month when we re-optimize your current portfolio. So we'll use this next month when we re-optimize, but these are all of my watch list and portfolios. Next, you can, same thing with the individual securities. If you have some mutual funds that you're watching and you have them in your head of what you want to see for ETFs, it allows you to include up to 10 holdings for any ETF or mutual fund. So you can just type it in. So say I was looking at the SPY Spider Index, the S&P 500. I can type that and it's going to pull from that entire S&P 500 versus up here, you can select a specific sector instead of all of them. So you could do it that way if you wanted to. Again, you can check this if you wanted to include all the fund components. I don't ever check that, but you're more than welcome to. After we run this pure quant, we'll come back to this. This is going to be our last run when we use our saved screeners from last month. So last month, I'll put in the script too, our webinar was on the screener tool. And if you saved screeners on the screener tool, you can actually take those results from the screener tool, open this, find that screener. Like I think we did this one last month and this one. You can take that screener and actually run that screener of results through the pure quant tool. So now you have a second like set of eyes basically looking at what we screened for you and then running it through this powerful tool and picking the top 20 from your screener. So I just love this source right here because those of you that have screeners saved, sometimes you can get 200 results. Sometimes you can get 100 results and it's just too much to look through. And this tool can simplify that and save you so much time. So we'll come back and run one of our screeners after we're done running the Billionaires Club one that we did. So once you look through all these and choose the sources you want to run it from, you would go to the bottom and click Build Portfolio. But before we do that, I want to take a look at this, which is step 2, change default settings. If you do not want to change your default settings, which is on step 2 here, you don't even need to click on here. You can just simply go to build portfolio. You don't need to select here and you don't need to go to step 2. So with our step 2, this is basically our pure quant house rules. That's what we like to call them. So let's just take a look at a few of these rules, even though I'm not going to change any of them. But I just want to show you what's in here before we run our pure quant. So the first box is our health status. So the health indicator, you do have the option to have your results be in the green zone, which means the stock is healthy because it's moving well within its normal risk range, the VQ, and usually it's trending up. So our standard rule is we always want our pure quant results to come back in the green. If you change this and select yellow or red, then you will have results come back that are in the yellow and red zone. In your script, I just don't have time to go through it right now. I did put what the yellow zone means and the red zone, just so you have a definition. Now, the next one is the VQ. So the rule for pure quant, when it goes through all of the results, any stock that has a VQ over 40%, it's not going to give me that in my results. So it goes through every single stock, and if it's high risk, it's not even going to go into my results. You can change this if you want it even less. So say you're not a risk taker and you're very conservative and say you want low risk stocks, you would probably change that from anywhere from 15 to 30. We consider low risk or medium risk. So you can definitely change that, but I'm going to keep it on 40%. Our cryptos are always going to be higher because they're very volatile, and we set that at 80%. All right, and then the VQ here, it's less than, more than, or between. So you can change it depending on what your risk tolerance is. And the way we get our VQs here and what it means, our VQ stands for volatility quotient. And what we do is we're basically tracking and determining the stock's historical price action. We are looking usually at the last 3 years of historical price data, but with the previous year being more heavily weighted. So the previous year is what we're really looking at. But in your script, I just don't have time to go through it today. I did include a quick video that tells you the difference between our health and VQ. All right. Now, again, you can build your pure quant off of cryptocurrencies as well. Now, the next thing in here is gains. It automatically, for one of our house rules, keeps it on yes. So that means that the stock must be at a gain since it most recently entered the green zone. So it must be trending up basically and in the green zone of results. So you definitely want that. And again, you do have the option to change any of these. I'm not going to go through them today. We just don't have time. But you're definitely more than welcome to adjust any of the default settings. Now, I will tell you this maximize diversification filter helps minimizes the portfolio's risk with uncorrelated securities that don't move up and down together in the markets. Those of you that are not familiar with the diversification quotient in your script, go ahead and check out that quick how-to video. It's about 10 minutes long, and we go through what this means. So again, you can keep it on no, or you can turn it on to yes. And then at the bottom, you can use market capitalization down here. We don't use any of it in one of our rules because this refers to the total dollar market value for a company's outstanding shares of stock. But some people do follow that, and you're more than welcome to choose the caps. In your script, I did put what the caps mean. I just don't have time to go over it, but I did put definitions. Like, for example, if you click here, large cap is going to be 10 billion or more, as you can see there. Same here, you can hover over them. All right, so I just wanted to show you what the house rules are and what the default settings are. I don't mess with any of these, but you're more than welcome to. All right, so again, if you were here on the first source and you didn't want to change anything here, you do not have to even click on here, and you can just go straight to the bottom and click build portfolio. Oh, actually, I'll do that on my screener tool. Step 3. We'll do that with this screener tool. Step 3 is just, I have to tell it how much money I want to invest in the positions, but we'll change in a second. So what this does is, since I chose all of the billionaires, it takes a few minutes, not too long, but as you can see, it goes through all of those portfolios so quickly. It's incredible. So I can wait for this countdown, or I can hit view results. Okay. And now let me go back because I want to change this right here, the amount of money I can invest in positions. So I can click on edit and change the investment amount and number of positions. This is step 3. I'm sorry, I skipped over it. Let me just click on that. I'm going to put 100,000 here. So I'm telling the tool I have $100,000 that I want the tool to pick me positions using this amount of money for me and build the perfect portfolio, basically. That's what we like to call it. The standard is 15 positions that the tool automatically puts for you, but you can change this. And like it says, we recommend having between 10 and 20 positions because we consider that a stable, risk balanced portfolio. But you can put up to 100. So I'm going to leave it at 15. Let me just update results because I skipped step 3, which I'll show you step 3 when we do our screener. All right, let's look at these results. So here are our results. So I told the tool that I want $100,000 built into this portfolio. It tells me what below to invest in. It's giving me a diversification of 1.49, which is good. You want it no more than 2%, we say, but usually it gives it between 1 and 2%. Now, you will see the PVQ here. This is the total portfolio volatility, not each one. This is all the stocks that it has checked here, what the total PVQ is, about 21%. That's not ideal. I usually like 15% or less, but again, I chose a billionaires club and some of their stocks are all array of everything. But you will see that all the stocks it returned are 100% in green. And then it's going to show me the top 15. We're not going to go through this today. This is new where you can change your views that you see here. But we'll do that when we re-optimize your portfolio next month. All right, so let's take a look at our results. Now, the first thing I want to do is go over the pure quant rank. So you'll see the tickers here. These are all of the stocks, the top 15 that it pulled from 27 top hedge billionaires. So looked at all 27 billionaires' portfolios, which was a lot, and pulled the best ones. Now, this right here, the pure quant rank, I need to go over this because it may throw you off. So, do you see how these are ranked like number 1, number 2, number 3? The question that we get a lot, does the pure quant tool rank the best results? So is number 1 the best investment? No, that's not how it works. So Aura, O-A-R-A, is not the number 1. The reason the pure quant shows this is we're sorting the results based on the security's average VQ and the days since a new health entry signal was triggered. So in your script, I did put the calculation, how we rank. It's really simple. It's days since health entry and minus the average VQ. Okay, here. So there is a calculation that we use, but please don't come in here thinking that this is the best stock and rated number 1, because that has nothing to do with it. And there's some more information in your script as well. It's just too long to go over like the math behind it, but you're more than welcome to read about it in your script. All right, so the next thing that we're going to go over is the position size and the risk. So it is important to emphasize that TradeSmith advocates for equal risk position sizing under the risk percent per position column here. So what is so neat about the Pure Quant tool is it has the risk rebalancer built right inside. So not only is it pulling you 15 good stocks, is actually rebalancing them for you and giving you equal risk straight down the line. So each position is going to have the same amount of risk per position, and I'll show you what I mean. So I told the tool that I wanted 100,000 of my trading capital per trade, but that does not mean that it's going to take this 100,000 and invest the same amount of money into each holding. As you can see, it took this 100,000 and it is telling me how much of that 100,000 to invest in each of these positions. So you can see that the amount is going to be different, but we are able to determine the risk per percentage. If we put these amounts, they'll be the same right down the line. So you're risking 2.5% of each trade straight down the line. So it's your portfolio, not only it will be equally weighted, which is excellent. So you don't even have to use the risk rebalancer tool until like a year if you do decide to buy all these. So again, it's taking that total 100,000 and dividing it in to like kind of like buckets, but they are all going to be different. So you'll notice that the tool, not always though, not always. I do have to throw that out there because I was using the Pure Quant last week, and usually the tool will invest more money in low risk securities, but I did see last week it's not always the case. I do want to let you know. But you can see that it's wants me to buy almost $8,500 worth of ORA. The VQ on this is approximately 24.12%. It's going to be 8.5% of this that I'm putting in. It's still going to be 2.5 per position, and you can click on here and it's going to tell you the percentage amount of risk in each individual position compared to the value of their overall portfolio. But here is where it can tell you how many shares you're going to buy. Now, I know this is confusing because it's showing fractional shares, but you can round up or down if you don't know how to do fractional shares. The system just does that. We have a lot of requests in from you guys though to get rid of that, so hopefully they listen, our development team. But again, I just usually round up or down. So it's telling me to buy 107 shares of ORA. Those 107 shares is going to cost this much. It's in the green zone, which we want. If you want to learn more about the health, click here and it's going to bring you to like a chart and break it down what the health means. It's going to tell me if it's a stock or fund or index. I should have chose the asset type of stock, but I did leave that blank. Usually I just choose stocks or crypto depending on what I want. But since I didn't fill that source out on step one, it did pull funds and indexes. But usually I like it just to say all stocks. Again, it's going to give our VQ, our average VQ, the latest close, the sources, and the sectors that it's coming from. So as you can see, it gave us 15. It broke down all the shares that we want to buy to make our portfolio. So what I like to do from here, like where do we go from here? You can either print this, download it like as a file on your computer, or you can come down here, open this, you can create a new portfolio and you can watch it. This is what I do. That's why I have so much watch list portfolios. I run this all the time. I'm just gonna put 777 because I'll have a duplicate name, but you can name it whatever you want. And what you can do is these 15 positions, if you're not ready to buy them, you can save them as a watch list portfolio to watch over the next couple weeks to see how they perform. You can also add it to a basket, but usually you're going to use a watch list portfolio. And then I can hit add. And it's going to add all 15 into a portfolio for me. Now, say that you don't like these 15 stocks, you can go down and look to see what other stocks are here. But again, we highlight the top 15 if you chose that as the number of positions you want in a portfolio, but it can give you more results here. All right, so let's look at that portfolio that we saved when I mean that we can track it, and then we're going to go back and look at our screeners really quick. So if I go to my portfolios and I go to manage, I saved that as a watch list portfolio. So this is my investments, my real portfolios. I want to go to watch. And as you can see, I save a lot of watch list portfolio because I like to see how they perform before I jump in and buy them. I usually watch them for a couple weeks and see how the gains are before I jump in. So what did we save that as? Pure Quant 777. So if I click here, I can see all 15 in the portfolios. Now we will get this question why one says bearish. This is a completely different rating that it goes by. So it's taking into consideration several things like fundamentals and everything. I just have that up here on my default view. So that's why you're seeing rating. You guys might not. But they are still all going to be in green. Even though it says bearish, it's because it's going off more than the health. So you can ignore that for now. So I can watch these 15 stocks. I can see the total gains every day. And I had them saved, so I can go over to my broker and buy them. I can actually buy all of these and create a new portfolio on my account. All right, we're going to go back to the Invest tab, and we're going to run our screener tool, our screener results that we did last month. So again, Invest, Pure Quant. Okay, and again, we're going to do this next month, but I'm going to come back here. And this is the one we just did. You see how I saved it? Did I choose two sources? I did. Okay, the country of exchange and the Billionaires Club we chose. I'm going to do build a portfolio from scratch because I want to choose the source as my screener. All right, so on these sources, I'm still going to use on any. I'm going to skip through all of this because I just want to focus on our screeners. I'm going to come down here, screeners. So again, this Pure Quant tool will allow you to build your portfolio according to your TradeSmith Save Screeners. And again, the Save Screeners refers to our screener tool, which a lot of you do use. So you guys can leverage your Save Screeners in combination with this Pure Quant tool, again, to refine your stock selection process. And it's going to identify the best opportunities from all of those results. Now, once we get those results from the Pure Quant tool, it's all gonna rank them to the proprietary algorithms that the screener tool considers and all of that. So I love doing the screener. So it's basically giving you the best of the best stocks from your screeners. So it's kind of like a powerful strategy you can use to isolate them. All right, so if I open here, I have a lot of screeners, but I believe last month we did the dividend growers newsletter picks. So I'm going to run my screener that I saved, but you can see all the screeners that are in here that I've saved. We have a couple TradeSmith screeners in here that we've created for you, like these, that you can also run through. Again, if you guys don't have ideas by TradeSmith or Trade 360 or a Platinum member or Essential member, you're not going to have access to the screener tool, so you might not be seeing this. All right, let me go here and I'm going to select this screener that I did up here, the Dividend Growers newsletters. This is a screener that I built and I saved. That's what that means. So I went up here to invest. I clicked on the screener tool and I saved my screener as a save screener. That way I can use it in all the different tools that we have in our system. That's why we have you save your screeners if you want. All right, let me change this though. I do want them to come back US. And this is what I missed last time, the asset type. I'm going to choose stock only so those funds don't come through, or indexes. All right, so this one's just going to be a simple one. The only source I'm using is my save screener. Now let's go to step 3 that we missed. Step 3 is the same thing. It's just going to ask you how much you want to invest in this portfolio and how many positions you want. So really, you can do any dollar amount. It does default to 10,000, but you can put 5,000, you could put 2,000. It depends on how much you have to invest in a new portfolio. So you can put your mouse in there and change that. I'll change it to 100,000. I'm going to leave it on 15, but you can change it to 20 or even more than 20. We just recommend between 10 and 20. Now this here, you can allocate the percentage of investment amount between asset types. I usually don't do this, but if you click on asset types, you can actually allocate how much of this you want to allocate to stocks, cryptos, indexes. That's if you don't have time and say you want to run stocks and cryptos together, you can allocate an amount, like 50% to stocks, 50% to cryptos. I'm going to keep it on none though. This right here, if you click on change default settings, it's going to revert you back to step 2 to change any settings. Again, we're not going to change any settings here. I like the house rules that the Pure Quant already has. So let me go back to 3. I'm going to keep it 100,000, 15, and we're going to hit build portfolio. And again, we're looking at our save screeners, one of the save screeners, because you do have to do them separately. Unfortunately, you can't run a bunch all together. And again, this takes a few minutes. And while you're doing this, you can continue to use the website. And then if you're using the website and it's taking a long time, it'll tell you when the results are ready up here and you can click it and go back to the Pure Quant tool. Sometimes it doesn't take this long, so we'll see what it's doing. Okay, see, not too long. So you don't have to wait for the countdown. You can just simply click here and get your results. All right, so same thing. When you come here, you're probably telling yourself, what do I do from here? So you can either go to your broker and buy each of these holdings, consider reviewing the securities in like that watch list portfolio. You can research each ticker by clicking on the actual ticker symbol, which would bring you right to the homepage of this stock. So it's going to take you to the position card page, 4ORA if I clicked on here. And it's going to tell me everything about this company. I can look at statistics, the earnings reports, their trending lines, their ratings, so much stuff. I can see what newsletters are following them. So you could definitely click on each ticker to get more information. If you are not aware of the company or you want to see different things. I could have sworn I chose US stocks. Did it not go through? Because it pulled Canadian stocks, which is fine. But again, it's telling me the 100,000, how much to invest. I know it says Canadian, but it must have not taken that filter. Let's look. Did we choose US? We did. Oh, I'm sorry, because of my screener tool, this dividends, when I screened it, it did pull more than US stocks. That's why. Okay, I was like confused. I'm like, wait a second. But it's going based on my screener, what's in my actual screener that I saved. So I did have some Canadian and foreign stocks in there. That's why. But if you chose US for a brand new search with other sources, you should not get any Canadian stocks whatsoever. But it was looking at the screener that I saved, which did have foreign stocks in it. All right, let that run again really quick, and then we'll go back to the results. All right. So again, the same thing, you can come down and save them as a watch list and watch them. But again, in that screener that I had saved, I had a total of 100 results that I saved in that screener, and it took 15 of those 100 results and told me the top 15. So that's why a lot of people love this tool. It breaks it all down for you with equal risk position sizing, tells you the amount of shares you need to buy, and you can see it's each risk right down the line is the same. So I'm not too heavily invested in one stock versus the other. It's equally weighted straight down the line, which is what you want. It's the same thing as going up to my portfolios and using the risk rebalancer tool. All right, so that's a wrap for today. We will continue the discussion next month on this Pure Quant tool and really break it down when we re-optimize portfolios. So let's just recap really quick. So today I showed you a 3-step process for creating a risk rebalance portfolio that follows our algorithms and indicators, and that's step 2, our house rules. You can build a portfolio from scratch in minutes by reviewing multiple sources, such as our Billionaires Club, newsletters, markets, sectors, screeners, and so much more. We walk through step 1 of choosing your sources, step 2 of our default settings, and step 3, customizing your portfolio, which is 2 questions. It's going to ask you how much you want to invest and how many positions you want the results to return to. In your script, I did put our quick start video that we created. It's about 7 minutes long, and it goes through this, but in a high level. So within 7 minutes, we show you how to run the Pure Quant. So definitely check that out. Let me pull up the contact us. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to contact us. I just wanted to show you all of the management investment tools we currently offer. So we do offer AI predictive software now, portfolio management investment tools, cryptocurrency tools, macro investing, options tradings, quant-based research. So we do have a lot of products available. So you can definitely contact one of our plan specialists at the bottom or email them if you have some questions. And again, if you need to contact us, please give us a call at the number on your screen to speak to one of our dedicated customer success reps. Thank you again for joining us and letting us be a part of your educational journey. And I hope all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving filled with joy, good food, especially, and special moments with loved ones. So until next time, bye for now.